Apple and Amazon are facing off in a tablet war. Stephanie, is Amazon, in your opinion, a big competitor for Apple? I mean, the tablet's not that sexy, but it's cheap.
Well, it's cheap, certainly. And it's actually probably going to be a money loser, believe it or not, for Amazon, but it'll certainly drive traffic. I think that Apple has such a lead, the first mover advantage, the app's scale, if you will, in terms of what they can offer. So I think that, both can coexist, but I think that Apple still is the dominant player and will be for some time.
Now, Apple has been coming up against some headwinds. I read recently this week that Jefferies lowered its iPad unit estimates for the third and fourth quarter. How concerned are you about all these rumors about iPad slowing?
Yeah, I know. We've had a lot of different data points
Right.
this past week in terms of iPad production. Alex, this company typically over orders, if you will, by about 25 to 30%. So just to kind of rein that in, it's one data point. The supply chain, there's a lot of mixed information. You kind of can't take too much away from it. Again, we're still thinking something like 12 million units in the third quarter, maybe 13 to 14 million in the fourth quarter. I still think they have just a great lead. The demand remains pretty strong, and so I think that it's overdone on the downside.
Now, all these rumors have had a lot of impact on the stock, like you mentioned. On the downside, has a really hard time breaking out with the rest of the market. So how are you trading and positioning yourself in Apple?
Well, this company always trades, kind of a lot of volatility around the quarter. So, I think that certainly if the stock were to pull back, 380, 390 ahead of the quarter, that's when you want to buy it. I still think, again, long term, the valuation is attractive. They're a fabulous product story. The iPhone 5 coming out, the iPad, probably the next version coming out in March. So I still think, this is a product cycle story. You want to buy it around these announcements and take advantage of the weakness. The other way you can play it is we like Broadcom. That's a way of playing the Apple story because a lot of their components go into the Apple products, but they also have a lot of other great customers like Nokia and Samsung that are just refreshing their product cycle. So that's one that we would take a look at as well.
So then headed into next week when we have that iPhone conference, would you be looking to buy Apple and Broadcom then on some kind of dip if we see the sort of buy the rumor, sell the news typical scenario?
Yeah, it's sure. I mean, if you do see sell the news, I think you definitely want to be buying both of these companies on weakness. You want to be buying technology at this time of the year into the end of the year. And again, these are product cycle stories, and the product cycles are still pretty fresh, pretty young, and with a lot of upcoming new versions. So I think there's plenty of demand, and I think again, the caution this week is a reason to be taking a look to be buying.
All right, so lots of smartphone and tablet market share to go around. Still buy signal for Apple and Broadcom. Thanks, Stephanie.